Hello, beautiful, and welcome to the Mom Talk Sex podcast. I'm your host, Mark Alvington, helping women overcome anxiety and depression, fix their life stage of desire, and heal their relationship. This is a conversation, judgment-free zone. You are here today to explore and enjoy and have fun. And I am so honored to have my beautiful guest with me, Kim. I'm going to have her introduce herself.
Hi, thank you, More. So my name is Kim, and I help moms bring their romance back to their relationships, like it was when you started dating, because
And
that is
we need that. We
we
need that.
do, we
Oh my
do. We need some spoiling. We need some pampering.
Yes. And I can, okay, so I really want to hear more about what you do, how you do it. I'm sure a lot of the moms that are listening are really in tune with this because as mom, we talked about this before the recording, right? We are so overwhelmed because we're working from home, we're dealing with the kids, our body has changed, the relationship has changed. And it seems like most of the time, what suffers the most is the relationship, right?
Mhm,
And the intimacy part.
mhm.
So, what do you do to keep it intimate with your husband? What do you do to keep it, like you said, like those beginning days, that excitement?
All right. So there are different things that we can do. And if we want to jump straight into the intimacy part, one of the things that I've had to learn over the years is that what connection means. And the word connection means different things to different people, but especially between women and men. It can have very different meaning. So when I say connection and I tell my husband I want to feel more connected to him, I mean I want him to listen to me. I want to feel seen. I want to feel understood. I want him to listen to me when I talk, not necessarily try to fix my problems, but offer that level of support. That to me is connection. But to him, and I would say to a lot of men, connection, yeah, we'll do the talking, but it's touch, it's tactile, it's that physical touch. And I don't necessarily mean jumping straight into bed, holding hands, raising hands. You're walking past in the corridor and you brush against each other. It's a hug, it's a kiss on the cheek. It's the willingness to be tactile. So for a lot of men, especially in a long-term relationship, that connection to them actually is physical touch. And then for women, we don't go from 0 to 100, right? So even that idea of that intimate, that those affectionate touches, those caresses throughout the day can then lead us to be in a state of, yeah, let's close that bedroom door and let's get to business, right?
Or maybe on the counter.
Hey, I would say clear spaces. Make sure you've got clear spaces.
That's right. Don't want anything poking you in behind. That is so interesting. So, one of the things I was wondering, and I think about this a lot, even with my own relationship, right? Like when I'm home and I'm like doing the laundry and doing the dishes, it's like so much of being in the sexual mind zone or in that sexy energy is the state of mind, like you were saying,
Yeah.
and the touch. Is there maybe things that you find yourself doing during the day to just keep being in that like maybe sexual energy throughout your day? So it's really a building up for you also, and not just when he comes home, you know, and trying to revive it from that place.
Yep. So, and it differs, I mean, sometimes it really is the last thing on your mind and you have zero desire to put it there. But I remember a while ago, I came across this therapist, Dr. Cheryl Fraser, and one of the things she talked about was scheduling sex. And I thought, really, isn't it supposed to be something that's a bit more spontaneous and you just, fall into it? But the idea behind that is you have to have it in your mind, especially for women. You have to have it in your mind that this is something that I'm looking forward to. This is something that's going to happen, and this is something that I want. And we do. We know this idea that it's only men who are interested. That's absolutely not true. But for us, we do have 100 other things going on in our mind, so we can get distracted by those things. So yes, the idea that this is something that I'm looking forward to later on. And then throughout the day, little reminders. Maybe you pull out his favorite perfume that you wear. Not saying he has perfume. You know, you plan to wear something nice that evening. You have special undergarments that you might have put aside for that particular occasion. And it's just little reminders. You send him a flirty text during the day. He loves that. It keeps you in the frame of mind that this is something that I am excited about. And sometimes we have to kind of, act our way into feeling. So while we're distracted by the 100 different things and the 3, 4, 5 children calling for our attention at different times, that those little interactions, those little reminders that this is something that we're building up to, because it's not just about that one time, this is also impacting overall on the health of your whole relationship. So yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely realized that the times where me and my husband are more intimate and we're doing it more often, frequently, it creates more of that too, right?
Yeah.
So it's really hard if you're on a dry spell or you haven't done it in a while and you're kind of getting back into the game, but it's almost like a muscle, right? It's like the more you kind of want to do it, the more your body is like, ooh, I really enjoyed it. And I think obviously it really depends on partner and how the whole interaction is going, right? Like if you aren't be able to please yourself, right? If you're not getting pleasure from it, obviously there's going to be some stuff there that you want to look at. But if overall it's good and it's good, your body's going to want more and more of that. And I feel like when we have children, we get to that place where, at least for me, I always felt so needed. And at the end of the day, I was like, the last thing I want right now is another person that needs something from me.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I kind of switched that and I was like, ooh, well, what can I benefit from? What is actually receiving from this too, right? What if it was just about gifting? What if it was also receiving? And the minute I was in that mindset of like, oh, I can also, I don't have to be in control. I can have somebody else in control. I can have somebody taking care of me. I can have somebody else fulfill my needs and also theirs. And so that kind of really shifted that, for me. So I'm
it does.
like, when you're working with women on this kind of stuff, like what are kind of maybe different tools or tips that you give them to look at it from a different perspective,
Well, one of the things I do remind them about is that idea of how they're connecting with their partner, and that again, that for many men, it's the physical touch that is a key part of building that connection. One very practical tip. I know nowadays you have a lot of women who are working from home, whether they're working on their own businesses or their jobs have them placed at home, or they're working outside the home and they're very busy with their careers. And what happens, you get home or you shut off work for the night, if you even shut off work for the night, and there's laundry to do, there are all the other things to do, and you don't prioritize going to bed. Something as simple as go to bed at the same time as your partner. And it could be wind down time. I'm not saying hop into bed at the same time and get the action going. No, it could be you're reading a book, he's watching something on his phone. Many couples do have a television in their room. I mean, I would suggest you don't have the television in the room, but life is life. You've got the TV there, and sometimes one or both of you are watching that TV to kind of unwind. But the important thing is that you are together and that you are in bed together at the same time, and you're both relaxing at the same time. And then that could possibly lead to other things happening. There was another thing and it's just completely gone out of my mind right now, actually.
Okay.
I know. See, woman, too many things going on all at the same time.
So what is something, I don't know if you want to share from your own experiences, but what is something that you help to get yourself in the mood? Like if you're having your off day and you feel like, when your husband comes home and you want, like what is something that helps you?
So during the driest of the dry spells, I would say one thing that helped me a lot. Now I am a complete cheesy romance novel junkie. And I gotta say, truth is facts are facts. Women are very cerebral when it comes to getting into the mood. And some of those stories can really put you in the mood. You're like, well, I kind of want to try that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I remember that. Me and my husband went on vacation and somebody gave me 50 Shades of Grey, that book.
Ah!
He knows it. But I had no idea anything about this book. My girlfriend's like, take it, you'll love it. I was sitting there. I remember I was sitting there, like, scanning, like reading this book, and like 2 episodes in, I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to go to the bedroom now because I think time. Like, completely caught off guard, but that's so true. Like, we're so mental or like driven by our vision and connecting.
Mhm.
I think that's
Yeah.
a tip, right? If you just want to get in the mood. And I was talking to another girlfriend the other day, and we were talking actually about porn, and how when you go online and look for porn, a lot of it's very grotesque, or very, it's really hard to kind of find porn that's more geared for women, I feel like, and also that feel safe and sensual. But there is a lot of like online like short stories that you can read that can also put,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So like if you don't have a book at home, or if you don't feel comfortable having a book at home, or if you're afraid your kids are gonna find your book or whatever, you can find some materials online. And I feel like one of the reasons I was choosing to do this podcast, calling it Mom Talk Sex, is also
Mhm.
to help women get in that mood to realize that it's okay, right? Like,
Yeah.
we can open the conversation, we can put the shame aside. I know that wherever we come from the world, right? So many religions and so many cultures have so many taboo emotions about sex and relationships and intimacy. It's like you're
Yeah.
not supposed to touch another person until you get married, and then you're supposed to be this guru and knowing everything, knowing how to do everything in bed. Like, it doesn't work like that, right? So we need to
No.
and be open and
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah. And it is also it's a full sense experience, a full sensory experience. So even things like the lighting, dim the lights, light the candles, use the lamps, whatever you have. Sense of smell. So those same candles, maybe they're scented candles. Don't use one that you don't like the smell of, or he doesn't like the smell of. Choose one that you both like, please. As I said, let him wear let him wear the cologne you like best on him, and you wear the perfume he likes best in you. It's, good lights, good smells. Enjoy a meal that you both enjoy. There. What else do we have?
I think just that
Mu-
connection.
Just that connection, yeah. Music.
Yeah.
Get a playlist. Get a playlist that is full of songs that mean something to the two of you. Not just your wedding song. If you had a wedding song, there are songs that can take, when you're listening to music, it takes you right back to certain experiences. So build up a compilation of those songs that only evoke really positive romantic experiences between the two of you, and that puts you in a different frame of mind. So just listening to that song or songs throughout the day can put you in that state of mind. So yeah.
Thank you so much. So if any of our listeners want to find more about you and about your work and what you do, what is the best place for them to find you?
Well, they can email me first off at kim@overtheandes.com. And more, I'll share my Facebook page, which is Language of Relationships. So we can share that out as well. And I have a free guide. Essentially, it's top 7 mistakes that we women are making that are preventing us from having that love in our relationships. So that romance, we're killing that romance in our relationships, and how to stop making those mistakes and how to find the solutions to those mistakes. And that's, yeah.
I think that would help so many women out there. So if anybody's interested, we're going to drop some links.
Yeah.
We're going to share information. Kim, thank you so much for your time and for being with me here talking about these subjects.
Thank you more. You're very welcome.
For being with us, guys. See you next time.